fascinated, actually, for that Michigan State-USC game tonight because Chad Baker-Mazara is one of the more difficult guards in the country. He is a bad shot taker, bad shot maker, but not your typical three-point guy. He just hoists shots where he looks like he's falling off a trapeze, and they go in.
So he's not a chucka necessarily.
He shoots a lot, but but they're not like usually when I think of that, I think about guys who are taking deep 27-foot threes.
YOLO.
Yeah, but he's a tough guard, and their big Ezra Asar is a tough guard. He's one of these 260-pound like power forward guys. But what's fascinating is how does Izzo defend him, and that's where Izzo is pretty good, but that should be an entertaining game tonight. 248-539-9797. Let's go to
see how they come back after a loss, too.
Yes. And what was a hell of a game. That Nebraska team's good. Ben on a cell, you're on 97.1. Hi, Ben.
Good morning. I want to expound on what that one gentleman's comment was about Campbell's call on third down. I think in a game where something's on the line like that, you have two plays to make 1 yard. That could have been a really critical mistake. And I think that's why, I love the fact that he was using more of those crossing patterns and the misdirection stuff. But the 3 points, that's one point. The second point is Amon-Ra. What a great game. I think one of the reasons why we didn't have a successful season is he didn't play like that all season. He had a lot of important drops this year, which cost us. And he's such a important piece of our success. And third, I think everyone knew with the schedule we had that we weren't going to be a 15-2 team. But I think the effort that was displayed yesterday was more indicative of the Lions that we've become accustomed to and how they played the last 2 or 3 years. And, why was that missing all year? Missing for one game, I understand or whatever, but I think, I'm not as in tune as you guys are with all this stuff. But I think if you're a common fan and you're watching them, that's one of the things that you saw is that, they played like this for the last 2 years, and they didn't play like this all year.
No, there were some things that were a little strange this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown dropping a bunch of passes this year, we don't expect to see. Now, was that due to a hand injury that was never disclosed? Possibly. He did drop a pass yesterday, but I don't care. What he did was make a bunch of catches and made a key play at the end of the game. That catch and spin and reverse the field and go up another 10 yards.
Basically get him in field goal.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And he's fantastic. But to the caller's point, you have to try to put your finger on what was wrong. Why did it go wrong? Why didn't they have the effort that you were expecting to see all season long? Why was it not there night in and night out?
Well, they played some defense yesterday, one.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have elite line play this year, two. And maybe the biggest difference between if you're just distill it down to one thing, it might be the line play, the O-line play.
Yeah, Frank Ragnow retiring is massive.
And guys getting banged up and breaking in young guards. And, it was just, it was
a lot of different
for whatever reason, but it needs to get addressed any way it can. All right, Gator, I got bold ass predictions.
Okay.
On the beginning of the season.
All right.
I want to start with my favorite one, which came from Kang. Kang predicted at the beginning of the season, Kansas City won't make the playoffs. Bingo.
Huge.
Well done.
There it is.
Well done.
You deserve it, buddy.
Yep.
I only made one, but I made it count.
You did. You made it count.
I made it count.
Can't wait to hear who he says they're going to draft.
Oh.
That's where King really shines.
No, I only do it with the Lions.
Well, yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all I care
thought you
about.
meant the Chiefs. I don't know how they're going to draft.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, because Kang's just out here predicting Lions second and third round picks.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. All right. Here are Gators' bold-ass predictions.
Oh, boy.
The Bears will finish third, only ahead of the Vikings. Bears won the division.
Yeah, they did.
Dallas over Philly in week 1.
Almost happened.
Philly beat them. Tennessee trades for Travis Kelce.
Didn't happen.
No.
I thought because they would bring him home to where his future wife is from.
Here's one that's still pending. Trevor Lawrence will win NFL Offensive Comeback Player of the Year. Now, he's in the favorites, but the Christian McCaffrey is the favorite. But that could happen for you.
It might.
And here's one you nailed. Bryce Young and Carolina will make the playoffs. Well done, my friend. Well done.
I don't get the party horns. Thank you very much. I need something.
If you would have said with the losing record, I would have definitely. That division sucks, man.
Isn't that just implied with the NFC South?
I know, basically.
They got 3 teams tied at 8 and 9. They had to go to like double tiebreakers to figure out who the hell won that division.
The Falcons were eliminated in week 6.
Right.
And they finished with the same
With
record.
the same record. Crazy.
All right. Here are my bold-ass predictions. San Francisco will be the 1 seed in the NFC. That was wrong. The Green Bay Packers will go 8 and 9. They went 9-7-1. Tom Brady will step away from his role at Fox.
Nope.
Did not happen.
Affected the Lions game. 3
teams from the NFC West will make the playoffs.
There you go.
I got that one.
There you go, dog. Party!
Here are the best from the listeners.
Okay.
Bold-ass predictions. Rob said Jamison Williams will have 70 catches for 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. He had 65 catches for 1,117 yards and 7 touchdowns.
This is true.
Not quite as bold, but not bad. An unnamed texter. Ryan working at his desk. His bold-ass prediction was he wrote not as bold, but the Jags will have a better record than the Bears. They did.
Jags are really good this year.
Yep. Joe in Detroit predicted that Pittsburgh would win the AFC North.
Whatever.
Pete predicted that Chicago would win the NFC North. They did. D'Angelo predicted that Jackson Dart will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's in the top 3 in terms of odds. George and Metamora. Kansas City misses the playoffs. They lost Tooney, the Rice suspension, and Kelsey distractions. They have no run game. Mahomes' stats will be just But then he adds, J-Mo leads the league in receiving yards. He finished 9th, but that's not a bad one.
No, the whole Kansas City thing is big.
And Larry said the Lions will go 9-8.
Lions went 9-8. Way to go,
And then he
Larry.
adds, but they'll go to the Super Bowl with a 7 seed and win the NFC.
That didn't happen.
Those were bold-ass predictions from prior to the year. Thank you for all you getting those in. Later we'll have our season predictions, which I also have here, which are interesting. 248-539-9797. Let's go to David in Brighton. You're next on 97.1. Hi, David.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Champ.
Yep.
Champ, obviously St. Brown, I believe, because he's not healthy, and he's still going for 139 yards. Like, he's not healthy. And Chump, the field goal kicker for Baltimore.
Loop.
Yep. The Amon-Ra performance, like you're watching him yesterday, and I just, in the back of my mind, the whole game, the way they moved the ball up and down the field, given they didn't finish in the red zone, and that sucked. But it was like what could have been. A little bit of defense and the offense motoring all over the field. At halftime, the total yards were 237-69, and the Lions had a 2-to-1 time of possession ratio.
I think next year, getting Laporta back, and it stinks the draft how it went, but I'm so glad.
You're so glad what?
I'm so glad that Johnson lost to Campbell both times, and I'm glad that we have a better draft pick than last year. Yes, I wanted them to lose. I mean, not lose. I'm glad how it went because Campbell beat Johnson twice.
Yeah, you're fine with the fact they're drafting 17. It doesn't matter to you that it's 17 and not 15. Rather have the win over Ben Johnson than to have the pick
2
at
extra
15.
better. Yeah. I mean, look, here's what's going to happen. Somebody, and I know this is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get to the draft, and somebody's going to have a player they love go 15th or 16th, and they'll vent about winning this game. And I get it. Yep,
I get it. And when it comes to the draft, I'm already starting to train my brain into a Brad Holmes brain, which is I'm gonna try to identify super stud players and put them in a bucket, and then rank those super stud players. And see if one of those guys is available to him at 17. And if not, then it's a whole different kind of bucket. But that you kind of feel that way. Like these are the players you feel like really want to add to your team. with that first pick.
Andrew in Detroit, you're on 97.1. Hi, Andrew.
What's going on today, fellas?
How you doing, sir?
So, my champ would definitely be Indiana, the football program. For their head coach to come in his second year, be doing what he's doing, to have the players look the way they do, and the way they beat Alabama down, it was beautiful. My jump would have to be Brad Holmes because, again, if he would at least trade deadline gather some more defensive line help and some cornerback help, maybe we would have been in the playoffs. Maybe we wouldn't have lost, 2 out of the last 4 games and would have been in the playoffs. Because I feel like our team, we could have done some great things if we could have got some consistent D-line play. I don't know why Davenport stayed in the game and Muhammad was the one who was actually getting more pressures than him. I didn't understand that situation. So those would be my champs and my chumps.
All right. I mean, I may disagree with where the need was at the trade deadline, but nonetheless, they didn't make a move at the deadline that could have helped this team out. And what we don't know is who was available to or what the asking price was. Because for me, the priority was offensive line. And in the end, it was like one offensive lineman moved. You know, would you have given up a second-round pick to get an average offensive lineman?
I mean, what it really comes down to is, and the frustration is real, okay, with them not adding at the trade deadline.
And he was saying defensive lineman, but I didn't think that was a priority.
But the frustration is real. I struggle with chumping somebody over deals that we don't know. Like, you should have made that investment years later after Apple blows up. Yeah, got it. But you don't know what trades were offered, what trade talk. I mean, was he mining for great players? I'm sure he was, but did he get turned down on anything? You can't force somebody, you can't Madden override it and force somebody to give you their player.
And one of the things that's a little frustrating on the season when you see the effort like we saw yesterday is like that's a Lions defense that shut down a Bears ground game that could be pretty tough. You know, DeAndre Swift has had a really good season. Monangai is a punishing runner, and Caleb Williams is Houdini. And, those guys combined for 55 yards on 17 carries. So it's frustrating because that was the effort you want to see from that defensive line, being able to rein in a scrambling quarterback and being able to shut down the running game for the most part. I thought it was a really good effort, and yet what happened against Pittsburgh?
248-539-9797. More of your phone calls and feedback coming up. More of your champ and chump votes. Later, we'll have our first mock draft of the offseason here on. And if you're not familiar with how we do the mock draft, it's very interactive. You will understand as we get to it a little bit later here on Karsch and Anderson on 97.1.